Hi again, everyone. This is Tim from Cleveland Baseball Fan 879, and this is game number 5 between the 1998 Yankees and the 1976 Reds. Once again, if you don't want to know what the series is because you're watching for the first time, please skip ahead. The Yankees absolutely demolished the Reds in Game 4, and this is the deciding, or the first of the deciding games. Game 5, the Yankees lead 3-1. David Wells for the Yankees against Don Gullett for the Reds. And the Yankees visiting the Reds. So at Riverfront Stadium, it would be a ballpark singles 1-13 for lefties and 1-7 for righties. Ballpark home runs would be 1-6 for lefties and 1-9 for righties. All right, the lineup still remains unchanged for the Yankees. Knobloch leads off at second. Jeter playing short and batting second. Paul O'Neill batting third and playing right field. Bernie Williams cleaning up in center field. Chili Davis, the designated hitter, batting fifth. Tino Martinez batting sixth and playing first base. Scott Brocious playing third base and batting seventh. Jorge Posada catching and batting eighth. And Ricky Leday batting ninth and playing left field. Same defense behind Gullett, as has been every game. Bench behind the plate. Perez at first, Morgan at second, Rose at third, and Concepcion at short. Foster in left, Geronimo in center, and Griffey in right. All right, so here's Gullett facing Knobloch. 3-7 against the lefty. Ground ball to short. And that will retire Knobloch one away. And here is Derek Jeter. Two and a 7, 1-6 double. That's an 11. So that is a single for Jeter. Gullett's a -1 hold. Bench is a -3 arm, so -4, -6. They will hold him on, but Jeter will not be taking off. At least not now. Here's Paul O'Neill. Nothing on the havoc roll. And here's the pitch to O'Neill. 5-10. The shortstop. And let me see if the shortstop's responsible for holding the runner on. Let's see here. Left-handed batter. Runner on first. Yes, he is. So Geronimo will move from a 1 to a 2, but that won't matter on an 18. So 2-18, that's okay. Now you got to worry about his error chance. E30. And that's a 9. There is no 9, so let's see if he still turns the double play. 2 and an 18. Yeah, he will. So hot smash. Concepcion to Morgan to Perez. Inning-ending double play. And the Yankees are retired in order. And we go to the bottom of the first. Yankees nothing, and Reds coming to bat. All right, this is the same batting order as the previous game, as there is a lefty on the mound. Rose, Griffey, and Morgan. Perez, Foster, and Bench. Armbrister, Geronimo, and Concepcion. All right, here's Pete Rose. Switch hitter batting right-handed. 3-7 against the lefty. Bouncer to second. Knobloch throws out Rose. And here is Ken Griffey's dad. Ken Griffey the elder. But Ken was not his real name. His real first name, I should say. 4 and an 8. Popped him up. Second base, and once again, Knobloch retires George Kenneth Griffey Sr. 2 away, and here's Joe Morgan. former ESPN analyst. Oops, and we will not count that. All dice need to go through the tray. Three and a 6 against the lefty, and that's into the gap and all the way to the wall. And into second with the 2-out double is Joe Morgan. 1-10 double, and that's a 7. And they will hold him on, most definitely. All right, Tony Perez. Nothing on the Havoc roll for Wells. And that's a fly ball to center field, and Bernie Williams retires Perez, and that retires the side. The Reds leave one on a 2-out double, but cannot score, and we are scoreless after an inning of play. Williams, Davis, and Martinez due up here in the top of the second. And here's Bernie. Six, 8, either side. That's into left, or actually, yeah, left field for a base hit. And let's see here, -6. They will have to hold him on, but he will not go anywhere. Nothing on the 5 for Havoc roll. Here's Chili Davis. 2 and a 10. Ballpark blast. Right-handed means 1-9. That's a 3. He is normal power against lefties. So that ball is driven deep to center field. Back, and gone. So the Yankees take a 2-0 lead. Here is Tino Martinez. Four and an 8 against the lefty. 1-17 double chance. And Sparky has already got bullpen action. Manny Sarmiento and Pedro Borbon are loosening in the bullpen. They will not hold Martinez on. Here's Scott Brocious. Nothing on the 16. Oops, that does not count. Four and an 8 against a righty, and that's trouble. That's down in the gap. That will get down. Scoring from second is Martinez. And do we pull him after after an inning? I guess if he gives up the to Brocious, that will have to be about most you can handle. Here's Posada. Nobody out. On a 12, nothing there. 2 and an 8 struck him out. 1 out, and here's Ricky Leday. Only played 15%, had 15% of his at-bats against lefty, but he gets a start tonight because of his good defensive prowess. Four and an 8 lefty, and that'll be it for Gullett. That's a double, 1-17 double. That's a 17. And so Brocious will score from second. And when it rains, it pours. So Manny Sarmiento will come into the game as Gullett gets the quick hook, goes an inning and a third. It's an elimination game, so you got to kind of do this. Okay, so Sarmiento will take over and take on Knobloch. Nothing on the Havoc roll. 2 and a 9 against a righty. Fly ball to left field. Foster comes over, makes the catch. 2 down. And here is Derek Jeter. 8th man to bat in the inning. Nothing on the 15. Six and a 7, right-hander. Struck him out. That retires the side. But the Yankees do give up, or the Yankees get 4. And lead 4-0 going into the bottom of the second. All right, Wells will face Foster, Bench, and Armbruster. And here's Foster. 5 and a 10, ballpark single. But that 17 is not good. So let's see here, 5. So right field. We'll say that's line drive caught by Jeter, 1 away. Here's Johnny Bench. 5 and another 5-10, another ballpark single. That's a 7. That's okay. Ballpark singles are 1 to 7. So Bench gets it past the infield and will reach. They will hold Bench on because he does have the asterisk. -2, -3, -5. And maybe with 2 outs they'll do it. Here's Armbruster. Nothing on the 17. Oops, and we'll do that again. Oops. Try that one more time. There we go. 1 and a 6. And that ball is driven high. That ball is deep. And that ball is out of here. 2-run home run by Ed Armbruster. 1-6 is a 1 to 9, and that's a 4. So just like that, the Reds have cut the Yankees' lead in half. And here is Cesar Geronimo. Five and a 6 against the lefty. Fly ball to Shaw left field. Coming in is Lede. He will make the catch 2 away. And here's Concepcion. Five, 10. Another ballpark single. The 8 is not good. So line drive to, we'll say third base. Why not? And that will retire the side, but the Reds come back with 2 of their own and trail 4-2. O'Neill, Williams, and Davis do up here for the Yankees here in the top of the third as Sarmiento goes. Got the final 2 outs in the previous inning, and will continue here in the third. 3 and a 7 against a righty. That's a base hit for O'Neill. And here's Bernie Williams. They will hold on O'Neill. Strategy roll, or I guess we'll call it strategy roll. Havoc die, whatever. Nothing on the 9. 5-5. Switch hitter batting left-handed. Fly ball left field. Charging is Foster. He makes the catch, 1 away. Here's Chili Davis, responsible for 2 of the runs that scored in that big 4-run rally. Homered his last time up. 6 and a 7. Switch hitter batting left-handed. Another fly ball to left field. This time, Foster is under it and makes the catch, 2 down. Here is Tino Martinez. Nothing on the 20. No, we won't send O'Neill with 2 outs. 6 and a 7. And against the lefty, that's 3 straight fly balls to left field. So Foster records all 3 putouts, and that retires the side. Going to the bottom of the 3rd, Yankees lead 4-2. Wells will face the top of the order, Rose, Griffey, and Morgan. And here's the pitch to Rose. Two and an 11. Ballpark single chance, not good on the 18. Needed a 1-13. So Rose will line out to the... There's a lot of line drives to the shortstop, so actually we'll have to keep that one to the shortstop. And here's Ken Griffey Sr. Three and a 6, and that loaded 3 column comes up to play here. And he rips a single past Jeter, or past Knobloch, I should say. That brings up Joe Morgan. They will hold on Griffey. 1-13, not really willing to take that chance right now. Holding him on. They'll let Morgan swing away. Nothing on the Havoc roll. And he walked him. 2 and a 7's a walk. And Morgan has reached base both times today. Here's Tony Perez. See if he can get on track. Havoc roll for Wells. Nothing on the 16. Four and a 6. Struck him out. 2 down. Excuse me. Here's George Foster. Nothing on the 3. Three and a 7. Popped him up. Jeter calls for it, makes the catch, and that retires the side. Reds leave 2, and after 3 complete, it's the Yankees 4 and the Reds 2. All right, here's Scott Brocious. Six and a 5. Against a righty, that's a line drive to third, caught by Rose. One away. Here's Jorge Posada. One and a 4 against a righty. Grounder to the right side of the infield. Morgan takes care of that. 2 up, 2 down. Here is Ricky Leday. Doubled his last time up. 2 and a 10 against a righty. That's just a bit high. Ball 4. 2 out walking. You hate to see what happens when you walk the number 9 guy in the lineup. All right, strategy roll for Sarmiento. Nothing there. 1-6 and field goal roll there for Knobloch. Grounder to short, and that will retire the side. So he has gone 2 2/3 innings. So his fatigue will start after he gets the first out in the next inning. So that will be when he gets fatigued. We may need him to go a lot longer. All right, so the Yankees are held scoreless here in the top of the 4th. And to the bottom of the 4th, Wells will face Bench, Armbrister, and Geronimo. 2 and a 12. Struck him out. That is strikeout number 1 for Wells. Here's Armbrister. His 2-run homer is the lone scoring for the Reds. 5 and a 12. First base chance, that's for Tino. 3 and an 18. He will get there. Tino is an E12. E12 and an 11. There is no 11, so Martinez ranges over. Flips it to Wells covering 2 down. And here's Cesar Geronimo. Three, 4, ballpark single. 20 will not get the job done. So Knobloch catches it on a line, and that retires the side. Going to the top of the 5th, Jeter, O'Neill, and Williams, as Pedro Borbon loosens in the bullpen. Now 1 and a 5. Single to 16. That is a 16. So that will be a leadoff single. And Jeter is going to look to get a jump. 4 or a 6 he does. That's a 7. He will not. So they will hold him on. And Paul O'Neill will hit and run here. A B hit and run. Now, hit and run for strat for super advanced. If the blue die is a 1, 2, or 3, we go off the hit and run column. If it is a 4, 5, or 6, you go off the result of the pitcher card and adjust as needed. All right, that's a 6, so we'll go off the 6, 8 lefty. Now, yes, we will take the result. If it is a strikeout, a walk, you would adjust the result, but not a pop out. So he pops it up. Second baseman Morgan calls for it, makes the catch, and Jeter retreats to first base, one away. Havoc roll for nothing on the 5. So now Sarmiento is starting his point of weakness. 4 and an 8. Switch hitter batting left-handed. Ball 4, so that's 1 against his point of weakness. And that brings up Chili Davis. Havoc roll for nothing on the 6. Four and a 9. Fly ball to left field. Switch hitter batting left-handed. Making the catch there is Griffey. That's his 4th putout. 5th putout, actually. 2 down, and here's Tino Martinez. Nothing on the 5. 5 and a 6. Fly ball to right field. And making the catch there is Griffey, and that will retire the side. So Sarmiento has done very good work. And he will turn it over to Pedro Borbon after this. He has pitched 3 2/3 innings. So that will be it for Sarmiento. Meanwhile, David Wells stays in. He will face Concepcion, Rose, and Griffey here in the bottom of the 5th. 4-2 game. 6 and a 9. And Concepcion has normal power, so that ball is driven high. That ball is deep, and that ball is out of here. So look at it again. 6 and 9. 1 to 10 home run chance. That's an 8. So the Reds have cut this to 4-3. And here's Pete Rose. 0 for 2 today. Oops. 1 and a 7. Against a lefty fly to center field. And that will retire Rose, 1 down. Here's Ken Griffey Sr. Singled his last time up. 6 against the lefty fly to center field again. And Williams will make the catch, 2 down. Here's Joe Morgan, double and a walk in 2 appearances. 1 and a 7. Struck him out. Second strikeout for Wells. And that retires the side. But the Reds use the long ball again to cut into the deficit. It is now 4-3 going to the top of the 6th. And in comes Pedro Borbon. He will likely pitch the next 3 innings. As Okay. Need to make sure. I probably have one pitcher that might not be available. Raleigh, yeah, I mean, it might be available. Okay, so pretty much everybody is available out of the bullpen, even though they were all pitched, but not any of them be considered tired. All right, so here's Brocious leading off the top of the sixth. 6 and an 8. And that ball is high, and doing a nice job cutting that off is Griffey, or is, center fielder Geronimo, holding Brocious to a double. 1-12 double chance, that's a 14. So leadoff double, they will, yeah, they'll hold on Brocious. Here's Posada. Put Bourbon in the record book here. 4 and a 5. Shortstop chance. Oh boy. So is he responsible for holding on? So a switch hitter batting left-handed. 4, 5. That is a shortstop. Okay, so once again, this is Geronimo. He'd be a 2E30 because he is responsible for holding the runner. But the 18 will still keep it a G1. 18. Now he's got to avoid the error at an E30. And at 12, I think he does that successfully. E30, he does not. There is a 12 on an E30. So bobbles it. And Posada reaches, and Brocious takes third on the air. Defense has not been very kind to the Reds. Infield is in. Here's Leday, doubled and walked. Nothing on the 4. Six and a 3. Fly ball to left field. Foster is a 2. 10 means he can get to it. E2. 13. There should not be a 13 on an E2. There is not. 2 and a 10. That is deep enough that will score Brocious from third. Sac fly for Leday. And he is still one official at bat. And he will extend the Yankees lead to 5-3. 1 out. Runner on first. Posada will not be held on by himself. Here's Chuck Knobloch. Nothing on the havoc roll. Three and a 2. And that is a line drive to Morgan. He will throw to first, and they get Posada, who froze in his path. For any max outs, for as long as there are only 2 outs to be gotten, that's automatic. It's only if it's a triple play in super advanced that you have to roll for it. But the Yankees extend the lead 5-3 going to the bottom of the 6th. Wells is still fine. All right. So Wells will face Perez, Foster, and Bench here in the bottom of the 6th. Here is Tony Perez, 0 for 2 with a strikeout. 6 and a 7. Second base chance. Knobloch as a 2. A 15 will be easily in range. Now he has to avoid an E15. 6 and an 8. There is no 8, so Knobloch ranges towards first, gets it, and throws out Perez. 1 out. Here's George Foster. Four and a 5. Shortstop check. Jeter is a 1, so that 9 will be okay. Jeter and E10. Wow. Ooh, but a 10 and a 15. 16, 17, and 18. So Jeter throws, one hops it. Nice play by Martinez to dig it out. 2 down. Here's Johnny Bench. Four and a 10. Ground ball to third. Brocious up with it, and that retires the side. We might let Wells pitch another inning to get him 3 times through the lineup, plus that'll be his point of weakness. They have a very fresh bullpen. Let's see here. Ramiro Mendoza and Mike Stanton are loosening in the bullpen. Just in case. Bourbon will come out for his second inning of work. And here's Derek Jeter. 2 for 3 with 2 singles and a strikeout. 6 and a 7. Second base X, that's Morgan. Got to avoid an E17. And with a 12, he does. So Jeter grounds it to Morgan on the tough hop, makes the play, and retires Jeter 1 down. Here's Paul O'Neill, single in 3 appearances. 5 and a 7 against the lefty. That's a base hit to right field. They will hold O'Neill. Havoc roll for Bourbon. Nothing on the 4. Here's Bernie Williams. 2 and a 3 against a righty. Ground ball right to Morgan, to Concepcion, over to Perez. Inning-ending double play. And that retires the side. Stretch time here at Riverfront Stadium. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. I don't care if I never get back for its root. Root for your favorite team. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. All right, here's Armbrister. 1 for 2 with a 2-run homer. And Wells is four and an 8 against a righty. Line drive right to Brocious, 1 away. Here is Cesar Geronimo. And ballpark single, but the 16 is too high. So line drive to the second baseman. Knobloch, 2 down. Here's Davy Concepcion. homered his last time up. 6 and a 5. And struck him out. And Wells is begging Joe Torre to have him come out for the 8th, and he may do that. He will be on a very short leash as he sets the Reds down in order here in the 7th. We go to the 8th. And here's Chili Davis. This is Bourbon's point of weakness. This is his 3rd inning of work. 2 and a 6. 1 to 11 single chance. And, of course, what comes up if you're the Reds? An 11. So there's one hit. Raleigh Eastwick. No. Hold on a second. No. So Eastwick's the one that's going to be ineligible for tonight's game. So Will McEnany and Santo Alcala will be loosening in the bullpen. All right, so leadoff single by Davis, and he will not be held on. There was no steals on 1 attempt. Havoc roll, nothing on the 4. Here's Tino. 5 and a 4. Third base chance, not responsible for holding the runner on. That is Rose, 3 and a 16. Could turn it. E14 for Rose. And a 10. There's usually not a 10. No, there is no 10. So Rose rages towards second, gets it, throws to Morgan. Morgan on to first. Double play. Third double play turned by the Reds. Here's Scott Brocious. 5 and an 8. And that's a ground ball to third. And that will retire the side. I may have Bourbon come and pitch this next inning, possibly. All right, so Wells will come on. He's likely going to be batter by batter at this time. He has retired 9 in a row. Has Wells. So here's the ever dangerous Pete Rose. Not dangerous tonight, 0 for 3. 4 and a 7. Switch hitter batting right-handed. He is not tired. So that is a good strikeout. His 4th of the game. 1 away. Here's Ken Griffey, 1 for 3 with a single. Six and a 5, lefty, ground ball to second. Now block retires Griffey, 2 down. And the Reds are running out of outs. Here's Joe Morgan. 1 for 2, double, strikeout and a walk. 2 and a 6. Against a lefty, that's a 1 to 7 single chance. The double die does not come up good. And that's a line drive to second. And that will retire the side. Mariano Rivera is loosening in the Yankees bullpen, and he will come out if it is a save situation. Bourbon will come on to start the 9th. but McEnany is ready if needed. All right, here is Posada. One and a 9 against the righty, struck him out. Here's Ricky Leday. He is 1 for 1, double walk and a sac fly. 5-3 pitcher chance. That 15 will, let's see, 3 and a 15 for a pitcher. I'm not even going to roll the error chance because he's an E0. Well, I have to roll it for a rare play, I guess. 3 and a 15, that's a ground ball. Let's see if there's a quote-unquote unrare play. And not quite. That's a 9. Okay, so Leday grounds the Bourbon. Sorry, 2 down. Back to the top of the order, Chuck Knobloch. One, 9. And that ball is high. That ball is deep. And that ball is out of here. 1 and a 9 against the righty is a 1 to 9 home run chance. That's a 5. And Knobloch has just played extra insurance man. Is now 6-3. And McEnany will be called on. Try to get the final out here in the 9th. Here's Derek Jeter. Three and a 4. 1 to 7. Ballpark chance. That's a base hit. And the Yankees are trying to add on here with 2 outs. They will hold Jeter on. Nothing on the 9. Three and a 12. And against a lefty, that's a walk. And here is Bernie Williams. Chance to add on to the lead. First and second, 2 down, 6-3 Yankees. Oops, not going to count. Switch hitter batting right-handed. 1 and a 6. And that's trouble. That goes off the wall. Rounding second, heading home is Jeter. Rounding third and heading home is O'Neill. And into third with a 2-out triple is Bernie Williams. And the Yankees have blown this open here. It is now 8-3. And Santo Alcala will come in to try to get the final out. Okay, havoc roll for Alcala. Nothing on the 6. There's Chili Davis. Home run and single in 4 at-bats. 3 and an 8. And the Reds cannot seem to get outs. Ball 4. And that was thankful he didn't face a lefty, or else that would have been a double. All right, here's Tino Martinez, 8th man to bat in the inning. All the runs coming with 2 outs. Nothing on the 16. 2 and a 3, and that will end the inning. Ground ball to short, and Concepcion throws out Martinez. However, the Yankees add 3. And Wells will come out to try to finish what he started. He has retired the last 12 in a row after the Concepcion home run. He has faced 30 batters. Rivera has sat back down. But I think we may still do it as this time it's 2 base runners I think we'll allow. All right, here is Wells to face Tony Perez. Five and a 5 against a righty. Weak grounder to shortstop, and Jeter throws out Perez, 1 down. And here is George Foster. Two and a 6 against the lefty. That's a deep fly ball that will get past a diving Williams and all the way to the wall, and it'll rattle around. And Foster will go into third with a 1-out triple. And let's see, you have righty, 2 up, so we might want to bring in a lefty. The real Mike Stanton will now please stand up. The reason I say that is because when Giancarlo Stanton first came to the big leagues, he was known as Mike Stanton. I believe there's been another Mike Stanton as well. So Stanton will come into the game. Lefty-righty matchup. Eight to 3. One and a 9. Ground ball to short. I don't believe that scores the run from third. Hold on, 1-9. Ground ball to short. Yeah, I guess it does. Okay. So as long as it hits the middle infielders, that will score the run. Doesn't matter for the Reds. Bench grounds it to short. Jeter throws the first to get the out. Run will score. And it's now 8 to 4. Bases empty, 2 outs. And it's now Ed Armbrister's chance. He homered in the second inning. 6 and a 5. Swung on and missed. Struck him out. That's your ball game, and that's your series. And Pettit, the other 2 weren't in the... As the Yankees are celebrating on the field. So even Hideki Irabu, who did not even see an at-bat in this, or see a pitch thrown. Here's the bench players. All right, and we'll be back with your final line score right after this. All right, final line score, 8 runs, 14 hits, no errors for the Yankees, 3 runs, 6 hits, and 1 error for the Reds. I may end up doing something where I might play the 1998 Yankees against the 67 Cardinals and see if maybe if they get through Bob Gibson twice. But we shall see. All right, I think I told somebody in a chat room that I would probably resume the Gaylord Perry project where I was on, where I would have him face the pitchers that were in the Cy Young voting that he did not face in the regular season. So I think that might be my next game. So, all right, everybody, thank you for watching this series. I hope you all had fun watching. Please leave a like. It helps the video to be seen. And if you have not already subscribed, please hit that subscribe button, hit the bell icon. You'll be notified of any new videos. And whatever game you are playing, please enjoy it to your fullest. Have a good night, everybody.